Welcome back. In this video, we will dive into the concepts of access, availability, affordability and acceptability of energy services, which are 4 requirements for an inclusive energy system. The International Energy Agency defines energy access as a household having reliable and affordable access to both clean cooking facilities and to electricity, which is enough to supply a basic bundle of energy services initially, and then an increasing level of electricity over time to reach the regional average. For electricity, a basic bundle of energy services means, at a minimum, several light bulbs, task lighting such as a flashlight, phone charging and a radio. That minimum service level may be sufficient if you live a nomadic life in the desert. However, if you are living in a city, you know that you need a lot more electricity to meet your energy service demands. That is why the IEA added the notion of regional average, to indicate that the minimum energy service level that defines energy access depends on where and how you live. Obviously, geographic conditions also make a difference. If you are living in a cold climate, your life may depend on adequate heating services during wintertime. Between now and 2030, there is still a long way to go, although, admittedly, remarkable progress has already been made. Since 2000, the number of people without access to electricity has declined from 1.7 billion to 1.1 billion in 2016, and now it has fallen just below 1 billion. This was mainly achieved by grid expansion and new power generation capacity on the basis of fossil fuels. Progress is being made, especially in India, and the contribution of renewable energy sources is rapidly increasing. However, it still is a formidable challenge to secure access to electricity for the entire world population by 2030. This is not only about securing a bundle of essential energy services for households, but also about the demand for electricity in industry, the agricultural sector and the service sectors of the economy. Even with the most energy-efficient technologies currently available, industry and services need grid-based access to be productive. Even more urgent than access to electricity is access to affordable and cleaner fuels for cooking and heating. In sub-Saharan Africa and remote regions of Asia, many countries still rely on solid biomass, which in practice often implies that women and children spend hours per day to collect firewood. Not only does this reduce their opportunities for education and productive activity, but also the indoor use of firewood and other poor quality fuels for cooking or heating has detrimental health effects. Worldwide, 2.8 million premature deaths per year are attributed to the indoor use of polluting cooking and heating fuels. Access to affordable and reliable energy services is an essential condition for economic development and well-being. You could interpret the current situation of almost 1 billion people without access to electricity as a case of energy injustice, and consider it a moral imperative to remedy this injustice. It is not that easy in practice. As the International Energy Agency shows in its 2017 Energy Access Outlook, it is not only the poorest people who are not supplied with electricity. In many developing countries, also people who can afford to pay for electricity services are not given access. Structural issues are at play here, such as inadequate policy, lack of infrastructure, and high cost of connection. In developed countries, issues of energy access are generally not due to a lack of physical access. Rather, they pertain to the affordability of energy services. That is why the term energy poverty is often used. Energy poverty is much more widespread in the Western world than you would probably like to know. In the next figure, you see the estimated prevalence of energy poverty in the OECD countries. The IEA estimates that around 200 million people in OECD economies suffer from energy poverty. That is over 15% of the total population. With this knowledge, the energy transition challenge acquires a strong social dimension beyond the technological challenge. This brings us to the condition of acceptability of energy services. For a long time, acceptability of the provision of energy services was synonymous with health, safety, and environmental issues that could largely be solved with technological means. Today, however, with the rise of new technologies for renewable energy supply and use in our households and neighborhoods, such as solar roof panels, electric cars, and smart grids, the meaning of acceptability has come to include issues of privacy, equity, fairness, and justice. All these issues have to be taken into account in public policy making and result in an even more precarious balance between public policy goals. In many Western societies, public energy policies during the past decades involved support schemes for electric cars and renewable energy. Specifically, high-income groups benefited from these particular support schemes, as house and landowners can exploit their assets and install solar roof panels and wind turbines. If we continue down this path, then the energy transition may aggravate the existing divide between low and high-income groups in our societies. We should be concerned about this, not only from an ethical perspective of fairness and justice, but also because too much inequality undermines the stability of societies. Read, for example, The Price of Inequality by Nobel Prize laureate Joseph Stiglitz. Moreover, if the distribution of costs and benefits is perceived as unfair by the majority of taxpayers, this may erode the support of society for the substantial infrastructure investments that will be needed for a renewable energy system in the future, as well as for adaptation to climate change. A similar divide in society is at stake if the availability of energy services is inadequate. In a short-term perspective, availability is about the reliability and quality of energy services. In a system with a high frequency of service interruptions, wealthy consumers can choose to invest in backup facilities for their own businesses and households, while less affluent consumers just need to cope. In a long-term perspective, availability is about the security of energy supply in a world of geopolitical volatility and other uncertainties. Summarizing, access to energy services and availability, affordability, and acceptability of energy services are crucial conditions for social and economic development, for individual citizens and society as a whole. In balancing the 4 A's, the technology mix is an important design variable. However, equally important is the mix of public policy goals and instruments. In this course, we connect technological change to the social values at stake within the energy transition. Rather than deepening existing social divides or causing new rifts in society, we will show that the energy transition offers opportunities to achieve a more inclusive society. This course is about helping you understand the interconnected social and technological dynamics of energy systems and about opening up new solution spaces beyond the purely technological remedies. After this course, you can engage in a richer, more informed debate about how the ambition of an inclusive society can be translated into strategies to serve society's future energy needs. Thank you for watching.